G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. How are we all doing today? I have a treat. This is a MT-09 SP. I believe this is a 20, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's what he said to me. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's as stock as she comes. Look at that beautiful paint scheme, colour scheme and all that goodness. So a big thank you to Yamaha City in Docklands. Go say hi, go buy a bike. This thing here, I think he was saying it retails for about 21,500, and your standard MT-09 goes for your standard 17.5. So without further ado, let's just have a little look over everything. You got a nice TFT display, you got your lovely Olin suspension, you've steel braided lines, delicious quick shifter apparently. I have to give it a go. Clutch, no, it's not that bad anyway. Good suspension up front, lovely adjustable forks and whatnot, and of course that delicious powerhouse of the CP3. So without further ado, let's get on this thing and really have some fun. Start your oven, and away we go. Of course, it's going to sound a little quiet still. She's only stock, mate. But you know, just enjoy what she's got, mate. My legs aren't very long, so this is going to be a bit of a process. So bear with me. There is a lot of gravel around here, so let's be careful. Alrighty, so straight off the bat, this bike accelerates like a mule, and the front wheel definitely likes to jump up, and that is a very dangerous thing about it. Now, he set up the dash for me on this one to have a nice little different rev thing, so if you watch the RPM, like, the higher you go, it moves gently, but if you give it some noise, it goes up, and as the way it goes, it's like the old school music things, when you listen to the old equalizer bars and whatnot. But yeah, the suspension feels nice over these bumps. Ooh, I like it. But yeah, so this here, there's a reason they call this the master of torque, because I tells you what, you give this thing a bit of an acceleration and she just wants to take off. I mean, remember how every other bike I always do this thing where I sort of rev it? Watch. This thing just wants to bloody go. She is not happy sitting idle. She's just there. She's like banging on the door. She's like, let me go. I want a boogie. Oh, this thing is only in street mode, dude. That scares me, actually. What's sport mode? Oh, okay. Let's not put her in custom mode. Let's leave her in street mode for the time being, because we can. Now, the MT line I've always found have a very nice handling feeling. And it's true, because they do. They feel very nice. Very, very snappy on the twists and turns from my recollection of using these things. So let's go through this section. Man, this thing eats up bumps like a charm. Nathan, quick shifting means you just keep accelerating. One day I'll remember that. I'm going to do it this video. But yeah, so just off initial impressions now, I've been told the rider triangle of this bike is a little bit more aggressive, okay? Which is a good thing. The MT-09 is not going to not benefit from more of aggression, okay? It's still incredibly comfortable. I think my legs are just a bit more aggro, and I don't foresee this being an issue, because this bike, if you've ridden one, you would know that they are angry machines, and they always just want to keep on banging out the revs. Now, I've ridden a standard MT-09 from what was that, 2019, I believe it was. I think that was correct. But in this one, this is upgraded in every stretch of the imagination. The engine is bigger, there's more torque, the electronics are better. The dash is different. I'm not a big fan of the off-centered dash, but I know that's a staple of the older Gen MTs. And of course, well, the quick shift has been improved, so it's just, these indicators are going to drive me nuts because I'm not used to them. The gear shift indicator's nice. So let's give this a gentle acceleration off the line, because I know if you do punch this, you're just going to launch it straight into oblivion. So if you don't have your anti-wheelie on, this bike is a nose to the sky kind of ordeal. She's a wide boy, or girl, whatever you call your bikes. Quite thick, the thickest part of the tank. But I tell you what, the brakes feel nice. The engine feels spectacular. Everything about this just screams hoon machine. Ooh, and this is one of those bikes you sort of ride and you stop riding, and then you go, I don't know how this kind of toy is legal, but then you enjoy. You just ride it and you smile from ear to ear. Now, obviously, this is a big change coming from the MC22 I got to ride yesterday. Obviously, the MC22 was nowhere near as powerful, all right? This has 120-ish horsepower. It's about 117 and a half, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, it's got about 93 Newton meters of torque, so... Okay. That's the closest I've done to a quick shift so far, all right? We're getting there. It's one of those things it's a habit I haven't really learnt on the account of I don't have to shift like this myself. So I'm so used to having to actually manually do everything. So every time I get the chance to quick shift, I never do because it just feels wrong. Now, we do have a nice-ish sort of ride going because up ahead, we do get to go towards the beach. And hopefully I don't get lost because I know I'm not very good with directions in these places. I'm good with cardinal directions, but... Okay, there you go, boys and girls. Are you happy I finally did the quick shifter? And no, I didn't rev it out that much, duh, because I have to keep it legal. Australian police don't like it when you're a bit of a hoon, and I can already tell you that this bike does not like stopping. Ooh, Ducatis, new ones. Okay, my friend, this bike just wants to take off. I'm going to have to keep it gentle. So this is a 40 zone. It's not exactly the ideal speed for a bike of this caliber. But I'm telling you, man, this thing, she's like a lion in a cage. That's the best way to describe it. She don't want to stop. She just wants to keep powering through absolutely everything. And when you give it to her, oh boy, does she respond. And I hate test riding all these bikes, and I love it at the same time, because when you do it like that, you just sort of go, I want one all the time, and then you constantly just keep going, I want that, I want this. You test ride this bike, I want that bike. You test ride this bike, I want that bike. And then it's so scary, man. Damn it, Andrew. He's the guy at the dealership who let me go. I think he's the boss there, if I'm not mistaken. I'm 95% sure that's the case. And he's given me all this power in an area where I can't use it. If you've watched Bruce already, it's I've got all these ponies and nowhere to gallop. And sure, I could obviously launch it, but I don't know the logistics of the cameras around these parts, so I'd rather not find out the hard way, all right? But it is a nice area to sort of ride through, all right? Now, if you guys are interested in potentially getting yourself one of these kind of bikes, I do recommend them because they are great all-round motorcycles in every stretch of the imagination. They're comfortable. These ones have a much more sporty seat, which is an improvement because the last ones were very, very naked bike-ish seats, which, if you know what they are, I'm sure you understand what the deal is. Let's go down this way. It's a bit of an area. Now, this thing actually has self-cancelling indicators, which I've been told about, but that's just a weird thing to me because self-cancelling indicators, it's one of those things that once you ride a bike for long enough, you don't really think about the things you're doing. Also, the suspension on this bike is magical. Those speed bumps on my Rebel just like hurt your back, whereas on this, it just feels right. Oh man, actually, they're really comfortable. Let's go up this next one. Oh yeah, that's nothing. Now, I'm gonna quickly go grab myself a thumbnail, I think, because this is the place to do it if I'm gonna do it anywhere. All right, maybe at the other one. It's so weird not having to brace over bumps. I'm so used to having to do that this bike just doesn't need, and it's wrong. It feels wrong. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, didn't even notice that speed bump. So let us quickly go take a photo somewhere just up ahead, because I think this will be the way to do things. Oh yeah, baby, MT-09 SP, brand new model. Alrighty, that's the picture S side of things done. Now don't you worry, I am going to give it a bit of the beans later, because I have to. It's part of the deal. It's an MT-09. You don't just ride one of these things sensibly everywhere. Lifting up your legs so hard to get on one of these things compared to mine. Now, if you have one, click. Then you can turn your key on. How cool is that? So, let's get into this thing. Oh, I love it. It's just so easy to ride. And the suspension, it makes me happy. Oh God, I'm so unused to having comfortable suspension over bumps. Is that going to turn off? No. But look, it just eats it, dude. It just eats it. I love it. Hopefully we can get through here without too much dramas. No, it's all construction-y, so we're probably going to have to come back and enjoy that straight just before ye old dealership to truly give it some excitement. But look at this. On the Honda Rebel, if you guys ride one or another bike with some firmer suspension, you sort of get the idea that when you come across a bump, you sort of arch your back a little bit or something to prepare yourself. But this thing, it just likes working. You'd have to do anything. It's so comfy. Oh, even in third gear, like it's definitely got the torque, man. And I'm stuck in this area where I can't get to use it. It's all right. We'll find a place. We'll find a way. Life always finds a way. I tell you what, though, if anything, we picked a fantastic morning to come out and do this because look at these views, man. They're so good. Riding along the beach on an MT-09 SP is actually a very nice thing, because look, the MT-09 SP, despite it being an incredibly jumpy bike in a lower gear, because of that triple cylinder, it's actually still incredibly smooth, and the power delivery is quite smooth, so it's not going to be, oh my god, every time you twist the throttle. It is quite comfortable most of the time. It's only when you want it to be bad that it really shows its colors. Now, I do want to get lane filtering, but I don't really know the dimensions of this bike as well, so I don't feel comfortable doing that myself just here. So unfortunately, I might be stuck behind some cars, but it's okay. The speed limit's going to go up soon. So 3, 2, 1, yep. Oh, why is everyone driving so gently? Oh, listen. There's that quick shifter. It actually is great. Now look, here's the problem. That short input of throttle, phenomenal, felt great, all right, easily. But my God, you're going to get in trouble very quickly with a bike like this. And much to everyone's dismay, that's not always a bad thing. Some people like that thrill of the ride, but this, oh, it has a down quick shifter too, isn't it? Oh, it's so easy to get into neutral. I just realized this. It's not something you think about all the time, but at the moment, it's doing everything you want the motorcycle in this category to do. Price-wise, it's fantastic. The updated look is actually beautiful. I love it. The stock exhaust, honestly, is really nice. It's not obnoxious. It's not in your face. It feels and it sounds enough. Like, you know, with a really quiet exhaust, you don't feel the bike as much. Not everyone might relate to that, but like, say with the Honda Rebel, with its stock little sewing machine exhaust, you just don't feel the bike. It feels slow. It just feels wrong. But when you put the exhaust on, you feel the bike's character. With this, it's not that much in that way. Like, you still feel exactly what the bike wants to do. Oh, yeah. This thing is just unrelenting. It's literally like bottling an explosion. You can release it at any time, but it's just so nice. And you know what? A lot of people are a bit divided on the MT-09's looks. I like this one. This one's okay. I love the Gen 2 one. It's my favorite looking one. But the brand new one, like this new look, is absolutely gorgeous. The only thing I find weird is the oven dial thing. That's the only thing I'm a bit like, that was a strange choice. But besides that, everything else about this is great. The handlebars feel good. You don't clash when you turn full lock. Your throttle is nice and responsive, even in your street mode. Street mode feels fine. And when you put it in sport mode, which I'm going to do now, because I think we've done tame riding enough. Yeah, look, downshifting without the clutch feels good still. Now, when I take off, it's probably going to do all kinds of naughty things on me, but that's a triple cylinder, baby. They like to be used and abused. But yeah, the comfortability. You got a nice petrol tank on this, so you're not going to be running out of fuel every 2 seconds. It's not too bad on the wind for these kind of areas. It's actually a really good commuting style bike, I'm not going to lie. Is it overkill for commuting? Oh, absolutely it is. But guess what? It doesn't matter. Some bikes are meant to be fun, and this is definitely one of those bikes. So let's give it a little bit of an acceleration off the slide, of course legally, but like, watch. Oh boy. Oh, that front wheel, she just wanted to lift, and that was a very tame acceleration, all right? That was like this on the throttle, so it just wants to go, and that was me just taking it baby steps. So I can absolutely tell, if you're a hoon, this bike is going to be for you. You will be power wheeling everywhere, and you will just take off like there's nobody's business. This is the kind of bike you will ride and leave with a smile on your face every single time. Am I selling you on it yet? If I'm not, believe me, you should get one. Now, I haven't ridden the newest MT. I haven't ridden the MT-09 in years at this point, so my memory of the other one is just, it was fantastic, and I rode it in a pretty tame sort of environment, whereas this, well, is a very tame environment still, but I was riding the other one in back streets, so I couldn't do anything without sort of risking and stuff. But this is a dangerous motorcycle if you have no self-control. Because every twist makes you want to self-control. It just wants to go, it just wants to go, it's like, give me more! And it's literally a handwritten love letter to you saying, hello my darling, I know you haven't had a fine for a while, but I really want to have a moment with you and get in trouble together. Will you do that with me? And guess what? You're going to do it every single time. You're going to take it, you're going to hold its hand and willingly jump into the furnace because it's just so enticing. Oh, it's so good. I love it. Now, like I said, a lot of this ride is very, straight line oriented. So if any of you guys have one yourself and you want to see it utilised in the twisties, let me know and I'll take one out to a more twisty zone. But out here, we're in the city, so you got to do the city rides. And guess what? There's nothing wrong with a city ride. So just know that this is a fantastic motorcycle that you should absolutely get involved in. At least the indicators are nice and responsive. I was saying to the boss man that the Harley had the one thing I wasn't a fan of, that the indicators didn't have a nice click to them. This one has a nice click. I like a lot. But be careful if you have this, if you're like, well, no, if you don't have it, if you're looking at getting one of these bikes, because if you just launch it in first gear, it just wants to pick up on you. Now, is this a motorcycle that you should get as a first bike? Now, look, if you're in a country where you can get a bike like this as your first bike, no, you should not. This is not a bike you should get as a beginner at all. Now, you might think you're restrained, but believe me, this is a bike that will absolutely take you by surprise if you're not paying attention, and it will lead to a bad day. So, if you're not confident on a smaller bike, because you still hit the throttle occasionally accidentally, you should stay away from this motorbike, because this bike will lead you to having accidents or wheelies or something. Now, you can put the wheelie control on and it will take care of you very well, but if you don't want to use the electronics, or you get an older model of these bikes, no, don't do it. It's a bad idea. And look, this is me. I'm a pretty responsible guy 95% of the time, all right? As you can see in this video, I'm trying to keep it relatively okay, so there won't be any banging out top speeds or anything. But if you have no restraint and you have no control, this bike will get you into trouble in multiple ways. You'll either get a fine, you'll lose your license, or you'll hurt yourself, and none of those things are fun. Like, that throttle there is like almost just over a fast idle. That's how much power this thing likes to deliver early, alright? So the throttle twist is literally just this, and it's going already, alright? So just be aware of that. If you're not familiar, up the Straya, boys. Like, if you're not comfortable on a small bike twisting the throttle wide open and you hop on this, you're going to loop it and hurt yourself. So just be careful. But if you have the skill and you have the restraint and you're thinking about getting one, get one. Now, compared to the MT-10, I'm going to be honest, I kind of like the way this one feels. The MT-10 is great, don't get me wrong. The MT-10 is phenomenal, beautiful motorcycle. But this thing, it almost feels a little bit more angry because it just wants to go. Whereas the MT-10, obviously, it likes to go, but you have to get it up there. Let's go back the other direction so we don't go too far into the boring aspects of the city. Just be careful, Nathan. There is sand here. We don't want to have an oopsie. You can't afford an oopsie. So let's see how well I can handle a U-turn on one of these things. Hopefully, not too badly. Dude, this bike is just well made. It is exceedingly Japanese. That is the way I can put it. It works, nothing works badly. The quick shifter is actually fantastic now that I actually decided to use it properly. Because look, if you don't use a quick shifter often, you're obviously not going to be muscle memoried into using one, so just be aware of that. But it is just so tasty. Alright, let's go gently on the sand here, shall we? Oh, this motorcycle's gonna get me a ticket. Be good boy, Nathan, be good boy. It's very easy to do stupids when you have this much to play with. And boy, is it easy to get into stupids with a bike like this. Now look, the MT-10 had a lot of power. If you fang it, it will be faster than this, okay? Don't get me that wrong. But this bike, it just feels good in every position. Oh, I love it. Damn it, Andrew, you might have sold me on an MT-09. Because I actually really like how these ones ride. I like how they look. The note was the part that I was a bit iffy on, because I wasn't huge on the MT-09 exhaust note for longer stints, because they do get a little droney. That's my opinion on the matter anyway. Some people love that triple cylinder note. Now, being in the driver's seat, as it were, sounds a lot better than if you weren't, okay? Does that make sense? So, following an MT-09 versus riding one, it's different. So when I rode my mate's MT-09, which was basically straight piped, you can hear it's not so bad. It's very aggressive. It's nice sounding. Whereas this is just pure... I know it's a stock exhaust, but it sounds pretty good. Whereas the fully done one, it's loud. So I probably wouldn't get a full system on it if it was my bike personally. I'd probably be happy with a slip-on. I like slip-ons. But this bike, like I said, the stock exhaust sounds good. Now I understand why the people with the Triumphs leave their stock exhaust on. It'd probably be a similar, kettle of fish, but it's just pleasant. You know what I mean? It's not obnoxious. So, like, I'd like a little bit more noise to it, but you can hear it, all right? That's sort of the idea of the exhaust. It's a large and in-charge exhaust. But you can see as I'm twitching it side to side, it just wants to do it. So I imagine in the twisties, this bike would be a fantastic sort of around the bends one. So I'd love to be able to get it and take it into those kind of places. Obviously, around the city, it's very hard to get a twisty road. So much like where I rode the R7, it was very straight and boring. But with a bike like this, you're never going to have a bad time. So, in my opinion, if you have a humble $21,000 sitting around and you don't really want to spend a little bit more and get an R9, this right here is a bike I would absolutely recommend in a heartbeat. This thing is just so full of energy. It just wants to go everywhere you put it, every twist of the throttle, doesn't matter what gear you're in. Then let's put it in. So we're in 6th gear at 60 k's. Now you can see we're barely revving it out. We're just over 2,000 RPM, but she still wants to go. Oh yeah. She do. Now look, the quick shifter does work and everywhere. Now he says it's significantly better than the other models. Now as a guy who has the dealership, I would trust his word. He seems to know what he's talking about, believe it or not. But oh, I really, really like it, and it's dangerous. Nathan, you don't have the money. Nathan, you don't have the money. Yes, I know an old school one second hand is like 12 grand for an SP model as well, but oh, these are dangerous. All these test rides are becoming scary to my financial future. But I am thinking that we're going to have to go back on that straight just before we came out of here and see exactly where this takes us. Now, the MT-09 is a pretty well-respected bike by a lot of bikers, all right? Everyone sort of knows what they are by now. They know what they're capable of. They're just well-known as the Hoon machine. So you go to a bike meet, people will talk to you about it. So if you like a bit of attention, they will absolutely come to you. Just remember, they will be asking you to do wheelies. And if you're not comfortable doing wheelies, well, you don't have to do anything because no one can tell you to do shit, but you know what I mean. There will be an audience for it that wants you to do all kinds of things. Oh man, that front wheel, it does not like to be put on the ground, I'll give it that. Oh damn. This is a bike that just, like I said, no control, very dangerous. No experience, very dangerous. If you have both of those things, then fair enough. I'd say you go for this thing. But if you have absolutely no control, don't even bother. Don't even look at getting one of these bikes because you're just going to make terrible, terrible financial decisions by constantly getting in trouble with the law. Especially with the anti-wheelie laws, you will get absolutely reamed for this bike's potential. And it's a sad thing because it's one of those things that you're never truly going to get to enjoy. Did I make a bad decision coming down this way? I think I did. I may have made a mistake coming down this road. So I might have to do a U-turn and go back the other way. Because I don't want to have to come through any of this nonsense, to be honest with you. But we shall see. No, we shall not. Let's do a U-turn. Oh, dude, this thing feels like a dream on U-turns. Now, I do like the way that the indicators feel significantly. They really are a much more tactile feeling thing. And the brakes on this bike feel so nice compared to mine. And it's the one thing I hate about test riding bikes is when I get back on my own one and I press the brakes and I just go nowhere. I don't stop. I'm like, oh. Oh, that's addicting and I should stop doing it. So it just really, like I said, it really wants to just lift that wheel up no matter how gentle. Like that is only this. Like if you pin this thing fully, I foresee terrible, terrible financial things happening to you. Wait a minute, am I going the right way? This might be the point where I'm supposed to do a yield turn. Yes, that's exactly. Oh, damn it. Oh well, let's go explore this way. Now, one thing I'm happy to report on, it doesn't feel hot, this bike. Now, I don't expect the MT-09 to feel warm, but it does feel quite nice, actually. Okay, so we're going to have to do a whole loop here, I think. Even those bumps felt fine. Let's not go too aggressive around these parts. Little RC car. Hey, I can do that too. I don't have the money to flip something, or the health insurance. Now, look, just on that little U-turn there, this bike, when you start turning it over, sort of just locks into position and it feels absolutely correct. So let's give it this one. Oh yeah. Now, like I said, we're going slow. All right, we're being good children, but it doesn't feel bad. It feels absolutely at home when you lean it over. Now, I know I haven't really understood that saying with a lot of bikes before because, well, I haven't experienced a bike that quote-unquote felt at home on the side of the tyres often, because I don't really ride sporty bikes on the side of the tyre often, believe it or not. But this thing absolutely feels like it wants to stay there. Now, if you're considering this or the MT-10, there's one factor I really would suggest, and it's what kind of riding you're doing. If you're doing extremely long stints on a highway, I'd say like the MT-10 or the 9 is very good. If you're doing just weekend trips, either bike. If you like popping wheelies more, I'd say this one. If you just like going fast, it's your whatever pick. If top speed's what you're after, well, the 10 can't be beaten. But this thing will drink significantly less petrol, all right? So now, probably if you're buying an MT-09 or 10 SP, you're probably not concerned about the cost of fuel. Mind you, the cost of fuel on these things is nothing compared to what a car is. So a high-performance car, you'd be drinking the petrol and draining the bank. Whereas these things, even when they drink fuel, they still don't drain you. So, and naturally I get stuck behind the one person going stupidly slowly, so it gives us time to really talk about these things. But I'm telling you, dude, this thing is absolutely wunderbar. And what we'll do now is I'm going to give this thing a ride back to the dealer. I'll talk a little bit more once I get there. But until that time comes, now which way am I going? This way. Don't mind me just having a moment. No, not that way. I went the wrong way again. I do not know this area very well, unfortunately. I think that's very well obvious at this point. So let's do a cheeky U-ey and then go back the other way. But hey, it's my first time doing a test ride for this dealership, so don't at me. I'm learning. We all learn eventually, and this is me learning here, so we're going to have to learn this way. Yep, now we're definitely on the right path. But yeah, ladies and gents, I think I'm going to quickly give this thing back, and then I'll talk about it a little bit more just before we drop it off, alright? So, without further ado, I'll see you there. Let's give it a little 60 to 80 in third. Oh yeah. Delete it, mate. Delete it. It's like, hey man, how fast do you go? Oh yeah, I go. Alright, I'm going. In fact, I was there yesterday. So, believe me, this bike, she just wants to play with you. And it's scary, man. My God, this bike just wants to take off everywhere. It's ridiculous. Even third gear? Yep, even third gear. It just wants to boogie, and there's nothing wrong with that. Bam, so there he is. That's the MT-09 SP. Fantastic motorcycle. Look at it. It absolutely wants to party no matter what gear you're in. It looks good. It feels great. Like I said, there's the exhaust. I like how it comes out the bottom. It's quite nice. Swing arm is nice. That beautiful, beautiful powerhouse. You can adjust your suspension there with your twisting things. Now, I'm pretty sure this is a ride-by-wire, but get your cable clutch, obviously. But dude, golden forks looks good on this thing. Now, if you're interested in getting one, I'd absolutely tell you it's a recommendation from me. It looks so good. The paint job on the SPs just complement the bike nicely. They don't feel large. They don't feel in charge. They're just built well. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have time for. I do hope you enjoyed today's video. I know I did. And of course, there's an RC8 there. Look how nice that is. Anyway, take it easy, keep it cheesy. Say thanks to Andrew in the comments. Come down to Yamaha City. There it is. Give it a go. If you want to buy a nice bike, they have everything. And there's a nice R&M right there. So come in, buy a motorcycle, say I sent you. And as always, peace. Bye.